Alright folks, welcome back to the New Sentinel. Chukwuka here, and this week we're heading into some Jersey politics. Now, this ain't our first rodeo picking apart campaign madness, but today is all about New Jersey in 2026. Senate, House, special elections, you name it. And to start, we gotta talk about Senator Cory Booker. Man's running for re-election, and honestly, the smart money says he's already halfway home. I mean, when a state's this blue, Booker could practically campaign from his living room, yeah?
It's true, Chukwuka, and what strikes me is how strong that Democratic core is here, even when you have a national Republican wave, like after Trump's landslide in 2024. Booker is sitting on a pile of cash, over 12 million, last quarterly filings, while, Republican recruitment just looks anemic. They haven't even landed a top candidate yet, and honestly, local activists keep telling me it's just not their cycle. The issues are what's moving people: affordability, reproductive rights since Dobbs, and yes, climate resilience. The specter of Sandy still hangs over everything.
Yeah, and I'd add, New Jersey's been getting battered again. Maybe not like Sandy, but those recent floods Olga's mentioned, they're serious. Support after natural disasters is a real flashpoint election issue now, and Booker's pivoted hard towards transit funding and federal aid. He knows what the state needs to hear in a tough season. You know, Republicans might want to harp on things like defund the police, those nostalgia lines, but in the suburbs, where folks vote in droves, the Democrats' message is just stickier.
Let me jump in here. My recent piece focused on families in Newark who were put out of their homes by the last round of floods. These were people who'd worked their way into small homes, only to lose everything because drainage improvements kept getting kicked down the road. That's what shapes the conversation. It's not just the campaign trail noise, it's lived experiences. Climate, transit, these aren't abstract for voters. They want to know who's got a plan, and Booker keeps coming up in those conversations as the only reliable option. Though, let's not forget, he's not immune to criticism from progressives, especially on pharma ties.
Yeah, Olga, and not to rain on Booker's parade, pun intended, but if you zoom out, the affordability problem's what all my people talk about. Jersey's property taxes will knock you sideways. Doesn't matter who's in D.C., brother, if you can't afford to stay in your own zip code. That's ammunition for anybody bold enough to pick it up. But the Republicans just aren't landing their punches yet. Still, with all this blue on blue, the drama kind of intensifies inside the party, right?
You're right there, Duke, and I think the House races highlight that drama even more. Let me paint the board for a sec. All 12 seats up, but those old strongholds, like NJ1, NJ5, solid Democratic. Only real Republican turf is out around NJ2, NJ4, and that toss-up NJ7. The 7? Now that's a battleground. Straight-up toss-up, maybe leaning a smidge Republican, but everything's got an asterisk. The big story, though, is that NJ11 scramble, triggered by Mickey Sherrill leaving the House to head up the governor's mansion. That triggers a high-stakes wild special. If you like chess analogies, it's your surprise queen sacrifice, when the whole board gets shaken up and everyone's left scrambling to regroup. Gotta love it.
And the energy in that special's off the charts. Democrats lining up 10 deep, I'm not exaggerating. Benji Wimberly, strong Patterson base, but then you've got Senator Nellie Poe, who has big support in Passaic County and a reputation for getting things done. And suburban power brokers like Deborah Smith want to catch Sherrill's coalition. Booker and Sherrill's endorsements might basically decide this, so it's machine politics, but with real consequences for who stands up for transit funding, women's rights, and yes, climate rebuilding in those North Jersey suburbs.
You know what? All the inside baseball stuff aside, this is where Democrats have the depth, and the Republicans are scrambling to fill the roster. If you were planning a military op, you wouldn't leave your front line unmanned. But so far on the Republican side, it's like they've sent in a scout team when you need an entire battalion. I gotta respect Sherrill's move, though. Leaving a seat like that with D+4 lean isn't something you see every cycle. It's gonna be a short, brutal skirmish. Costs through the roof, and whoever wins has the incumbency edge walking into November. That's the game.
Absolutely, Duke. And it's wild to think how much money is about to get dropped into this one district. I mean, national PACs, DCCC, NRCC, they're circling like sharks. But let's not forget, New Jersey's turnout in these specials can be, well, abysmal. The party machines might drag their voters out, but a lot comes down to who's got those boots on the ground, and if anyone can avoid fracturing the coalition in a primary this crowded. Peeled onions got fewer layers than Jersey's intra-party politics, my people.
And if you're a numbers geek, we're talking maybe a 55-45 split for the Democrats, barring a complete collapse. No major polling yet, but just looking at who lives there and how folks voted the last few cycles, it's almost a textbook lean D seat. Yet, if the GOP ever wanted to stage an ambush, it's when turnout's low and attention's high. Not the most likely, but stranger things have happened in politics, and in chess, by the way.
That brings us to the money game and the whole question of what's really at stake for Jersey and the nation. Democrats are outpacing Republican fundraising by roughly 3-1. House Dems are averaging $1.5 million per incumbent, Senate dollars piling up. Meanwhile, Republicans are struggling to find candidates, let alone cash. I was speaking to a campaign manager last week. He basically admitted suburban fatigue with Trumpism is just sucking the oxygen out of their donor base, making recruitment harder.
Right now, that's a strategic blunder. The GOP's not maximizing their opportunities in swing zones like NJ7, or prepping well enough for low turnout windows like the NJ11 special. That's what we in the military would call a missed exploitation window. You gotta surge at the right time if you want to flip ground. When you don't, it's consolidation time for the other side. Dems, if they keep the coalition together after these primaries, could lock in that edge for several cycles, especially with Booker acting as kingmaker and all the structural advantages they already have.
Yeah, but don't discount what happens when these kitchen table issues really hit home. Just last Friday at my VFW post in Newark, folks were nearly coming to blows over the property tax spike. I mean, this is ground zero. Real talk from senior citizens on fixed income, young folks trying to rent, and veterans watching their cost of living skyrocket. Dems and Republicans both think they've got this issue wrapped, but honestly, most voters just want to know who can make Jersey livable again. You walk into any diner, hell, any barbershop in Essex, and somebody's got a story about nearly getting priced out of their house.
Couldn't agree more, Chukwuka. I mean, we talk about fundraising, PACs, attack ads, but affordability, inflation, even things like transit breakdowns. That's what hits troops and regular citizens alike. If one party figures out how to peel off those independents, the lost suburban center, that's the ball game. Both sides got their slogans, but until somebody delivers on the basics, Jersey's only going to get more expensive and divided. That's the plain truth.
And honestly, when you step back and look at it, New Jersey may not tip the House or Senate nationally this cycle, but this special election, these crowded primaries, and the big spending, they're all testing the Democratic bench for the post-Booker and post-Sherrill era. This is about who's ready to lead and whose coalition can really endure beyond just blue waves and red cycles.
Couldn't have said it better, Olga. We'll keep our eyes on Jersey, and trust, we'll be back with more as things heat up. That's it for today, folks. Chukwuka signing off here. Major Graves, Olga, Duke, always good to spar with you. Y'all stay sharp.
Appreciate it, Chukwuka. Till next mission, everyone, keep your sectors covered out there.
Thank you all. Wishing everyone a safer, more affordable week. Let's watch New Jersey together.
All right, see you next time. Don't let Jersey taxes eat you alive. Semper Fi, folks.